But do you think that it's possible to actually be in love with two people at the same time? Like, yeah, I know, like politics, we always got to choose sides. Relationships, we got to choose one. But do you think, actually, when it comes to like, something as strong as love, do you think it's possible to love two people at the same time?
Before I answer this, Marcus,
Come on, who ready to jump? Let's jump in there. Let's jump in there. Who got it?
I'm gonna let y'all unmarried niggas answer that shit.
We're not speaking for ourselves. We're not speaking for ourselves. Disclaimer.
yeah,
I know let's put that out there first and foremost. Let's put that out there. Like, niggas is not. This is all hypothetical.
It's definitely possible. I think that it is possible though. Real talk.
To be in love with two people at the same time.
Explain. Go further, brother.
Sometimes it's different elements of people that you could enjoy. You know what I'm saying? That you could fall in love with. I don't think there's one. Well, I don't want to say there's one perfect person. Like, but I see how someone could be in love with two people. I can see that. Now, if they're gonna be forthcoming and not hide that shit, that's another story.
I mean, there's men out here, like in the other parts of the world, there's men out here who got 3, 4, 5 wives. I mean,
right, polygamy,
So I mean, I guess it's possible.
Right.
You must love all your wives, I'm assuming. So I guess it's possible.
But even if it is a circle of like 3 people or whatever, you have to be able to accept that other person and love them too. You know what I'm saying? Like, say if it's 2 women, 1 dude, at some aspect, you have to be able to love this other woman that loves this man too, because you wouldn't put yourself through that shit if you didn't.
Yeah.
It has to be like a common ground somewhat. But I really think it's possible, though. I think that happened. I actually did you see, it's some crazy shit, but this one dude got a set of twins pregnant, the sisters.
I heard about that. Yeah, he got.
I actually think that happens a lot.
Sisters pregnant.
Yeah, but and that's what I mean. Like, how you think that even came about?
But as far as twins, I think that shit happens a lot because I actually seen that shit on the ID channel. Like, twins are like more closely, like they have like the same wants. So like, I think that shit happens more likely than not on like the twin side. But on the other side of that shit, it's very possible.
I can see it happening, man. Like, seriously.
I think that point you made, Phil, as far as like loving the different aspects of people, I think that probably is one of the things that probably makes it possible. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I think.
Which means like this person do like this, and then this person do this, or this person is better with this type of situation, and this person better with this type of situation.
Exactly. Like, say if you got 2 people that fill each other's voids, that's damn near perfect. Oh, she doesn't do this, but she does. She doesn't do this, but she does. It's like perfect balance, damn near. I'm not saying I'm an advocate, and it hasn't happened to me personally or anything. But I'm open. I'm open to anything these days. Fuck it.
Tell them your Instagram handle if they want to make it work.
Leave it in the comments, ladies.
Whatever. They won't make it work. I think everybody gotta be real mature to make for it to even work. Like,
you do, and you have to have like a I don't want to say a confidence in yourself, but you just have to have like a self. You just understand yourself too. But it always starts with self. If you're able to give up that part of you for someone else, to other people, it could be major.
Don't you think that's draining though, to be in love, to give all that energy to that shit has to be draining. It can't be easy.
I think it's draining when it's like a problem.
The person who's embraced
as love, that could probably boost you.
But what dynamic? Who's good? I think it's draining for it if you're not reciprocating as much love as you think you're getting.
That's a good point. What you think, Al, on the topic? What you got? What you think?
I don't want to say it's impossible. I think it's difficult, especially like being in love. Just because I know it's like different aspects of love and like, you know what I'm saying, like taking it different there. So you can love somebody for one aspect. You can love somebody for, you know what I'm saying, what have you, and being in love with somebody, I think it's totally different because um, I, I don't know. I feel like it's difficult to be in love with multiple people because like if you're in love with somebody, I feel like you're supposed to be giving your whole heart to somebody, or you know what I'm saying, like not necessarily. Well, I'll say you're giving your whole heart to somebody in terms of like putting it all on the line and being in love with somebody. But at the same time, like if you're just loving somebody or like you love somebody, there are aspects of yourself that you can hold back and you can, you know what I'm saying, withhold from somebody else or other people. And I know like polygamy is a real thing and like people have multiple wives, but at the same time, I feel like they are in like I don't want to say a love triangle, but they yes, you can love all your wives the same, but I feel like at some point in time, there's somebody that you are truly in love with, even if you are in a polygamous relationship. I feel like you probably are, you know what I'm saying, in love with one person more than the others. But I don't know. That's just, I don't know. It's difficult to say just because I don't want to say it's impossible because I know people, I feel like people definitely can. I feel like it's the option. I think people have the ability to truly be, I guess I'll say people might have the ability to truly be in love with somebody, but it's just like, how are you giving your whole self to somebody else? I'll just say, how are you giving your whole self to two different people and then still having some self for yourself? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm giving everything to everybody else, like at what point in time am I still in love with myself? So, and I think that might be the final thing for me. Like if I'm in love with two people, the other person is going to be, I mean, like for me, it's going to be my fiance. Like if I'm in love with her and the other person I'm in love with is going to be myself. Like I feel like I have to be in love with myself. But if I'm talking about like outside of this, like if you're in love with two different people, like at one point in time, you're gonna lose the in love with yourself, and lose the love, lose the ability to be in love with yourself. If that makes sense.
It's just not. You think it's not enough love to go around? That's what you think?
I don't want to say no. I think it's enough love to go around. I think once again, I think like in love because like it's enough love to go around because like you can love like different people, you can love everybody differently, and you can love so many different people in so many different ways. But as far as like being truly in love, and I think it's difficult. I think it's difficult. I don't want to say it's impossible. I just think it's difficult, extremely difficult.
What about you, Shaq? You've been all around. You've seen like these different type of cultures and stuff where they had different,
Yeah, so I was actually gonna get a perspective of, the country we live in and then a couple of the other countries that I've been in. And, especially since I've been able to be there for months at a time and kind of see how they live. But yeah, I think it's hard to say that you're in love with two different people here in the United States because, and I'm not speaking for myself, but I do think that when you're in love, you give your all to that one person. I feel like you can have love. Like I got love for this or I got love for that because of this. But, you're in love is supposed to be all encompassing. And so, and vice versa. So if you're in love and that person is reciprocating that, I do think it would be hard to say that you're actually in love with two people. That's just my perspective. I'm kind of vibing with Al on that. But and this is,
like the degree of love that y'all kind of like hung up on.
I think I agree. I feel like what Alex and Paul saying. Like I feel the same way, to be honest.
Yeah, because there's a difference. To me, there's always like that. Okay, I love that person for who they are, but there's a notch up when you say in love. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's a difference. And so just a touch point on like, some of the other places like UAE and Africa, certain parts of Africa. I'm sure there's more that I haven't been to that probably have several wives as well. But what I've deducted and what I've heard from some of the guys that I've been, able to like talk to and hang around for a while, this one guy said he had 4 wives, and what he said was, he said it's just like your kids. I'm just, you know, I'm telling his story. He said it's just like your kids. You have one that you're in love with, and all the other 3, you got love for them, but you're not in love with them. And that's what he told me. He was like, you got a favorite kid. You ain't going to tell them that. You ain't going to tell the kid what the fuck, you know, you ain't going to tell them what's your favorite. And parents ain't going to do it, but they going to have one favorite. And that's what he was telling me. He was like, yeah, he's like, it's one that I'll do anything for, and I'll sacrifice, you know, for her before I would the other ones. And so I don't know, maybe that was just his perspective. Maybe everybody doesn't think like that over there. But I do feel like, and I remember telling y'all this before. He said that after his first wife, the other 3 were like, they were like, oh, you know, they're attractive and they like me, and we just decided to get married. And so it wasn't like an in love type thing at all for the last 3. It was more like a convenience, and you know, I need 4. Because that's what my father did, and that's kind of what he was saying. So, you know, just different perspectives from where you live in the world. But I am sure, and to Marcus' point, I am sure, like, especially in these countries that you can have multiple wives, I'm sure that it's possible that you could be in love. Because, and I don't know, we ain't touch on this either, but you grow as a person differently in stages of your life. You're not the same person you was when you was 18. So I'm pretty sure that you can be in love when you're 21 with somebody, and especially if you got 4 wives, you can be in love all a different type of way when you're 35. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
It's definitely got to be like a maturity level. Like if there's a chance for it to work, it has to be a maturity level across the board. And I don't know, if it can work, I think like the whole like triangle, like every part has to be, you know, connected.
Yeah, I agree with that part. I think that if you were in love with 2 people, that shit got to be getting reciprocated, because if it's not, you're going to be draining yourself. But even within that, like, and it's not guaranteed, because I might be in love with 2 people, but one person might reciprocate it,
right,
like evenly. The other person might just give me a little here and there, and that's going to be draining. That person who's not giving it to you back, it's going to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be draining you because you're in love. They're not bringing that same energy. So I don't know. That I feel like that shit's kind of dangerous, dog. Because we dealing with human beings. We all love differently. We all have different levels of whatever the fuck our needs and wants and desires. So I feel like it's hard. Like, just to get one person to meet your shit is not easy. You know what I'm saying? So to have 2 people that you want and expect them to love you the same way you love them, like, nah, that's hard, bro. Like, that's not easy. You know what I'm saying?
That shit ain't happening in America. We all too selfish for that shit. So I know that ain't happening.
The Western world.
That's a lot of accommodating for somebody, for one person.
Exactly, and then do it for 2, and expect them to do it back for you the same way you do. You can't, like, it's hard to just like even putting expectations on somebody and expecting them to give you what you give them. That's stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I learned that shit. I'm not even talking about like with relationships. Like I'm just talking about any human being, even your friends' relationships with coworkers. Like, to expect people to treat you the same way you treat them is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all different. We all have different levels and different ways of going about shit. So, but to be in love, like, that's some deep shit, and that is dangerous, bro. That's some dangerous shit. Like, when you involving yourself that deeply in 2 separate people, and it's not guaranteed that they're gonna love you back the same way. Like that shit is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So.
And speaking on the male side, because, you know, like I said this before, females like to keep score. So you like, oh, you did this with her and you ain't do it with me.
Yep. Hey, I'll say this, and I know some guys that I obviously not gonna say, you know, put people up, but I know some guys that got multiple baby moms. You know what I'm saying? And every time they do something for the one child, the baby mom gets mad that, oh, you got so and so these shoes, you ain't getting so and so these shoes. So it's like that shit is just too much to deal with, bro. Like, It just is because it always becomes a competition between between the women. It always becomes a competition between the two baby moms. So I don't know. That shit looks like a lot, man. That's a lot to deal with.
As a